Breaking news today: as global tensions escalate and oil markets wobble, Washington has finally recognized what American families have long understood. Energy independence is crucial for security.
Hello, and welcome to That News Show, where we discuss the latest facts, fakes, and hypocrisy as reported by the legacy media. Let's roll the tape.
Fox News reports that President Trump has urged the oil industry to drill in response to Iran's threats to disrupt the global oil supply. Recall the previous administration's reliance on unrealistic green initiatives and foreign oil? Energy independence is crucial, not merely a slogan, it's the foundation of our national security. Under Trump's leadership, we're not dependent on OPEC or subservient to foreign dictators. Instead, we're boosting domestic drilling, creating jobs, and maintaining low energy prices. Those days are gone. Prepare yourselves.
With Russia. It's a shame. 6,000 soldiers died last week. More, 6,500 soldiers died last week. Russia, Ukraine, a war that never would have happened if I was president. So enjoy your flight.
Let me ask you one more follow-up. In your comments just now about Article 5, that will probably make some people in Europe concerned. Can you clarify what you mean? Are you still committed to mutual defense?
I'm committed to saving lives. I'm committed to life and safety. And I'm going to give you an exact definition when I get there. I just don't want to do it on the back of an airplane.
This approach does not imply abandoning our friends, but avoiding unnecessary involvement in conflicts driven by globalist agendas. Russia's maximalist stance in Ukraine's fight for sovereignty show that letting the conflict fight for a while is not a workable solution, but rather a reflection of a failed foreign policy approach. The current policies are a positive change, but there is still much to do before we can fully learn from this tragic conflict. By concentrating on our energy needs, resisting globalist overreach, and supporting leaders who prioritize American interests, we can overcome past mistakes and foster a safer, more prosperous future. In conclusion, America's strength is internal. There is concern in Europe about America's commitment to mutual defense. The unfolding tragedy between Russia and Ukraine, marked by the loss of thousands of lives in recent weeks, is a stark reminder of the devastating impact of escalated conflicts. By focusing on domestic energy production and reducing our reliance on foreign oil, we prioritize American lives and interests. This strategy is not solely about maintaining lower gas prices, but about ensuring that we are not at the mercy of foreign powers. Energy independence is crucial. The response is straightforward. Our priority is to save lives and protect our citizens while ensuring our allies understand that our actions will always reflect our national interest. The current administration's initiatives to tap into our own resources reflect the leadership necessary to safeguard our autonomy. The previous administration under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris adopted policies that proved harmful to American interests and global stability. What is required now is a strategy rooted in clear-eyed realism, not one based on empty promises or inadequate agreements.
When you're in negotiation and in these tense situations, three things matter. You have to have respect, you have to have carrots, and you have to have sticks. The president has brought all three of those to this situation in the Middle East, where Biden had carrots, but he didn't have the respect of our opponents, and he didn't bring credible sticks. And you just can't get peace. You can't get a good deal in that situation.
By focusing on domestic drilling and eschewing past interventionist errors, the United States sends a clear message. We will not be swayed by foreign threats or fund conflicts that don't serve our national interest. As we approach the next election, this fundamental difference will shape the debate over America's global role and energy policy. Today, with robust American energy production and a clear diplomatic strategy, the U.S. negotiates from a position of strength. By securing our own energy through drilling in Alaska, tapping resources in the Gulf, and advancing shale technology, we reduce dependence on unpredictable regimes. This autonomy transforms negotiation dynamics, ensuring that threats like closing the Strait of Hormuz, which channels over 20 million barrels of oil daily, no longer destabilize our economy. Our approach isn't about endless intervention, but about using economic independence, military deterrence, and targeted diplomacy to protect American interests and ensure national security. When oil prices spike, it reflects not our vulnerability, but our capability to stabilize markets through decisive action. The partisan divide on these issues is stark. This reactive stance, devoid of credible deterrence, invited aggression rather than curbing it. This approach contrasts sharply with its predecessor's tendency to offer incentives without enforcing consequences, focusing instead on leveraging American economic, diplomatic, and military power to benefit American families and workers. Respect, carrots, and sticks. These are the pillars of effective negotiation, particularly in the Middle East, where credibility is currency and strength speaks volumes. One side believes international approval and multilateral agreements are key to safety, while the other understands that respect must be earned. This realism, long absent, resonates with many Americans eager for a government that advocates for them, not the global elite. In contrast, the previous administration often prioritized global opinion over American well-being, lacking a coherent Middle East strategy, particularly regarding Iran.
Or is the market pricing in a little bit of instability still in the region, even after a ceasefire is called?
Yeah, Dana, I don't think anyone knows exactly what the future brings here, but I think the market is pricing in confidence that American strength, American resolve is ultimately going to lead to more peace in the Middle East, and that we're not going to see any meaningful blockage of flows of oil through the Straits of Hormuz.
Fox News has assertively covered these developments, focusing on the administration's drill policy as a pillar of energy security. This confidence extends beyond military capabilities to the U.S.'s robust domestic energy production, which helps shield the country from foreign turmoil. The coverage would benefit from exploring contingency plans for potential blockades, like the Strait of Hormuz, and a more critical examination of the U.S.'s ability to avoid global price shocks despite high export levels. Nevertheless, Fox should avoid suggesting that the U.S. can easily disengage from global energy markets. The market's reaction underscores confidence in American strength and the lasting value of national energy independence. The current administration's decisive actions have restored market confidence and prioritized American workers, framing this as not only an economic issue but also one of national security and sovereignty. As the administration continues to develop resources in Alaska and the Gulf, and as shale technology advances, the U.S. is increasingly capable of withstanding international disruptions. Incorporating a wider range of expert opinions on the long-term effects for American consumers and the global economy would strengthen Fox's coverage. Despite a ceasefire in the Middle East, the market remains cautious due to the region's unpredictable history. Fox News could offer a more balanced analysis of the remaining global market risks. In conclusion, the market's positive response is a testament to the effectiveness of prioritizing American energy production. Fox News has captured this shift effectively, yet there remains scope for more thorough analysis and diverse viewpoints to keep viewers well informed as these critical developments progress. While American resilience has helped stabilize prices, the market's cautious pricing reflects the ongoing global interconnectivity.
Look, since when you were in the White House with President Bush, the United States was by far the world's biggest importer of oil and natural gas. Today, the biggest importer of oil and natural gas is China, and the United States has flipped into the other situation. But energy trade with our allies and with China is also a great potential stabilizing force. Sure, it could help a trade deal between the U.S. and China for China to take more U.S. energy exports. I think that's
The resilience of the U.S. economy grows with each drill bit, impacting not just the energy moguls but everyday Americans whose budgetary relief is palpable. As China becomes more dependent on imported energy, it contrasts sharply with America's growing energy independence, which strengthens the U.S. position in trade negotiations. Domestic drilling has created thousands of well-paying jobs from Alaska to Pennsylvania, bolstering the economy even as states like Texas and Louisiana face challenges like fluctuating global demand and retaliatory tariffs from China. This situation highlights the importance of a strategic America-first trade policy that leverages our energy strengths to secure favorable outcomes for American workers. Energy independence is more than a catchphrase. It's a safeguard against external pressures and a cornerstone of economic stability. Despite these hurdles, the oil and gas sector still supports over 22,000 jobs and drives innovation and prosperity, stabilizing fuel prices and helping families save at the pump. Despite these challenges, the strength of American energy production, bolstered by new technologies and untapped reserves, promises continued growth. Consider a graph depicting U.S. oil and gas exports to China, which surged in 2023 before falling in 2024 as China imposed tariffs and diversified its imports. The economic benefits of this shift are evident. Although U.S. oil and gas exports to China saw a record high in 2023, a subsequent 30% drop occurred the following year due to Chinese tariffs. This change has profound implications, affecting household budgets, job creation, and the United States' global influence. As global energy landscapes evolve, America's capacity to export to both allies and competitors like China not only enhances stability, but does so with a focus on American prosperity. America's transition from the world's largest importer to a net exporter of oil and natural gas marks a significant economic shift over the past decade. Now, thanks to robust domestic production fueled by growth-oriented policies, such vulnerabilities have diminished. As always, it's interesting to hear how they like to spin this. Why should we depend on unstable regimes for resources we can produce ourselves? Energy independence is not merely a slogan, it's the foundation of a free and sovereign nation. Now, under President Trump, we're embracing a common sense approach, drilling and building domestically to prioritize America. The real question is, why did we ever stop? What do you think? Give us your thoughts below, plus don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back with more soon.